Grab the confetti. This is not a drill.
Uh, I am sharing the space with my capybara plushie doll, and this is my childhood teddy bear, which I just call Bear. I think I got this teddy bear without eyes So it has like no eyes. It's always had no eyes. I don't remember picking the eyes off, but maybe it had eyes and I picked them off whenever I was small, but you know, uh, uh yeah. Cannot hear Cappy. Can you hear I am sharing space? Oh, well, how much of that did they not hear? Oh, all right. So I'm Trans Capybara. This is my childhood teddy bear, just called Bear. I don't have eyes for it. It it didn't like I either picked the eyes off when I was like small or it didn't have any, or maybe it had one. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is my stream. It's sort of a variety stream. I'm kind of like sort of winging it. I don't really have an agenda. I don't really have anything to really do per se, other than just hanging out. And I am sort of relying upon people that are joined to watch me um, to suggest things that I should maybe talk about. And we've got all of my books sort of like, on these bookcases. So just to kind of take a gander at what we've got here, um, we've got we've got all these like cool books over here. And like if anything jumps out at you, just let me know. And then, we can uh like discuss. Like I've got some really cool transy books right here. Those are good. And I've got some coding books, and I've got like this really hot like lesbian erotica stuff, like poems. Um, there's like dictionaries and stuff about Buddhism and like all sorts of stuff behind me. So like, you know, if anyone's interested in me like describing what these are my special interests, because this is sort of these books are sort of a testament to my special interests. um let's go to the chat and see what we've got. Okay, so we've got Trash Can Wolves suggest, have you heard of the critically acclaimed idea of eating the moon? um oh yeah, we're starting a giveaway. uh what's the giveaway about? Looks like it's for a voice clip from Bear. And if you type exclamation point giveaway in the chat in the next 10 minutes, you can enter. So go ahead and enter that, and I'll try to answer some questions here. So the first one, have you ever heard of the critically acclaimed idea of eating the moon? I have heard of that. There, it's like some childhood stories about the moon made of cheese. Um, and I wonder if my nursery rhyme, but actually, that would be a good one. I got my childhood nursery rhymes book. Hold on one second. Look at the bears. Hold on one second.
She's being adorable, isn't she? Wahaha, I'm here too. Random meowster noises, waha.
All right, we're back. All right, so
Welcome back.
the first one, Dean's Mother Goose Book of Rhymes. Look how old this book is. Let's see when it was published. But 1977. And then we've got a book of fairy tales. And I think it's also from Dean. And it was published in 1977. Again. Well, let's see if there's anything in here about the moon. Let's see. So this is what it has in here. Little Red Riding Hood, Mother Goose, Hop on My Thumb, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, The Three Little Pigs, Rumpelstiltskin, Jack and the Beanstalk, The Frog Prince, The Princess and the Pea, The White Cat, Little Ida's Flowers, Old Lucky or the Dustman, The Little Match Girl, Thumbelina, The Top and the Ball, The Darning Needle, Blockhead Hans, Cinderella, Babes in the Wood, Sleeping Beauty, Puss in Boots, Tom Thumb, Hansel and Gretel, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and that is all. And then in the Book of Rhymes, let's see what we got. There's a bunch. Here, let me see if there's anything moon related in here. Oh, this is the house that Jack built. I love that. It's so good. You can get really on a roll with that one. Oh, it's a bunch of. Hmm. The index is just the table of contents, but alphabetized. It's funny. So anyway, I don't think there's anything moon related, but also, just to kind of finish up that whole topic, um, there is a Wallace and Gromit episode where they build a rocket ship and they launch it out of their garage. They build it in their garage and they launch it and they land on the moon because they thought the moon was made of cheese. So they brought like a lot of crackers with them, loaded up this rocket ship with bunches of crackers, fly to the moon, like, and proceed to, like, take a knife, like a cheese knife, and just like slice off a piece of the moon, put it on a cracker, and like, what kind of cheese is this? Is it Stilton or whatever? Like, cheese, Gromit. I don't know. It was funny. It was funny to see. And then there's like this little robot that's on the moon that its whole job is to repair the damage that people do to the moon because it sees like a sliced off section and it'll like take the glue and glue it back together. Funny. Um okay, let me see. Let me see what else is in the chat. It's in the chat. Um okay, the giveaway and so many books. Is the mirror book actually green? What is the mirror book? I am curious if we have any of the same coding books now. Let me see. Well, I have coding books on Python and C++ and some JavaScript and Rust and Go, maybe others. I don't know. I've lost track. uh, let me see. Any more coding? Some books look like mirror in the stream. That means. Um. Huh, weird. Okay. Yeah. So, like, okay, so just to kind of take an example of a coding book I've got, um, like learning Python. And it goes through Python 2.6, which, it's or 2.6 and 3.x. It's a little bit out of date because Python 2 is officially deprecated. Don't use it. Use Python 3. Don't waste your time to Python 2. I mean, a lot of this stuff is pretty applicable to Python 3, like the fundamentals. So I'd say this book probably still useful if you don't know Python. Just don't get too hung up on the syntax. Yeah. The documentation, the Python documentation online at python.org is probably the best resource because it'll say everything that you need. You got 1 more minute to enter the giveaway for a voice clip from Bear. 1 more minute, everybody. So you should do that. Cappy, do you have any ideas of incentives we could do for your stream? We could make them with Chat Meow because our next milestone is very exciting. It would be super cool to hit it tonight. Okay. Incentives, huh? Well, let's see. I'd say like our one incentive could be that we could choose a book at random or a specific book, and then we like I figure out how many pages there are, between the of the content pages, and we randomize which page we land on, and I read like you know a couple sentences out of it. Um, that could be something we could do. Or let me see, maybe people in the chat have an idea of what cool things we could do. Um, I I am sort of open. I'm sort of open-ended on that. Yeah, yeah. Uh, let's say, okay, Empirate 28, you won voice clip from Bear. Nice. Good job. Good job on that. What do we need to do for cats? Well, what do you need to do? How about if you any donation above $5, and then we can focus on cats because there's cats. There's cats. There's cats like right there. Oh, not right there. Right there. Right there. There's a cat. Cat right there. So we can like do things. We can do things with cats like that. Yeah. I'm not good at streaming. Yeah, cat playtime, sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Like this, my full-time job. Um, I write code and work in like Git and do sort of DevOpsy things in like VMware, like vCenter. If you like want to know some cool stuff like that, just ask me some questions. Maybe you've got a question about how to fix an old PC or something, or I don't know, try to like ask me something that's like technically hard, and I'll try to like answer it. That sounds fun. But otherwise, like I've been spending my spare time trying to fix computers, like get them running again. And lately, my projects have been like old MacBooks or old MacBook Pros. I've got a MacBook Pro. Yeah, I've got a MacBook Pro that was just gonna be e-waste at work, and I rescued it, and now it's running, OS 10. And I'm in the middle right now of trying to make a bootable USB stick for getting that MacBook Pro running. Let's see, OS 10.6. No, is it 10.8, 10.86, something like that. It's High Sierra. Mac, like, have it run High Sierra because the only way to install firmware on an old Mac is to have it run its own software. Then it can contact the servers and download the firmware or SMC updates that it needs to have installed on it. Yeah. So, yeah, donate at the Pally link, and that's given in the chat if everyone wants to do. The Bear Jew says, how do you pronounce that? Bearju? I don't remember what the OS was on my Mac when I had it. I think I had it when I was in high school around 2008-ish. Okay, so do you remember what the Mac looked like? Because let's see, the Mac I've got over here, the MacBook, the white MacBook is like a 2007 MacBook. Glossy white. Like this one? Yay! Yeah. So this is like 2007 MacBook. I think it's technically like a MacBook 2.1, I guess. It doesn't run OS 10. You can't so there's this thing called Open Core Legacy Patcher. And more modern Macintoshes can get that installed, and it acts like a shim layer between the hardware and OS 10, so that you can install essentially newer versions of OS 10 on older hardware. So Toad says, when did they remove the ability to run 64-bit? Oh, sorry, I meant 32. You know, so the thing is with this particular one, it's got a 32-bit UEFI boot partition, and it has a 64-bit processor, so it can run 64-bit software. But you have to have like a special way to install the bootloader, and there's documentation online on how to do that. It's a little technical. If anyone knows Arch Linux and how technical it is to install that, there are instructions in the very well put together Arch Linux wiki that out. No, I didn't hear any alerts.
This info dump interrupted by stage manager in the sky. Sorceress MLA just tipped $100 and just
wow.
unlocked our Identities watch party with Jesse Gender.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
It's amazing. That's so amazing. Thank you for your donation.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yes, thank you. That's so cool.
I'll have to text Jesse and we'll have to schedule it. I'm very excited.
That's really neat. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm producing and donation tracking. I literally forgot to get anyone to help me for the stream, so that's fun.
Oh.
Anyway, you're making the content though, so that's one thing I don't have to do.
I mean, I'm making something.
Something is sure happening. There's definitely words coming out of your mouth at our beloved chat, folks.
Right.
You're
So
doing great, honey.
There's another question that came in. I'm wondering how repairable the older Macs are. Surprisingly, like they're a lot better than the newer ones. That's for sure. I haven't opened this particular one up, but I have removed the battery. This battery is a complete fail. I'd have to get a new battery if I want to even like go down that road for this thing, but it does run off the power still. But I tried to like reset the SMC and do all these like magic things to it, but the battery is shot. But it's like, from 2007. It's like, 17 years old for a laptop. So older Macs are pretty, I would say like they are like somewhat repairable. Some of them get really technical, like as time goes on, because they started to glue components into the case, like the batteries. You have to be really careful about how you remove batteries. So go to iFixit. Like iFixit's a good site. It has a bunch of like tutorials and such. I think also you can get your hands on the service manuals for all of the Apple products, like the official Apple service manuals, which are really, really good. And it'll show you like the exact steps on how you disassemble it, down to taking the entire thing apart. The other night, I was watching a video of someone trying to clean a keyboard on a 2017 MacBook Pro. And if anyone knows the saga of the keyboards on MacBook Pros between the years of 2016 and 2018, there was a style of keyboard that they produced called a butterfly keyboard. The key travel was like really, really short, and it was notorious for getting like if a crumb or something got underneath the key would like either not work or it would type twice, and there's no way to really fix it besides taking it into Apple to get their crumbs removed. Or so this guy had a took this MacBook, completely disassembled it down to the top plate where the keyboard is, and then very carefully dipped half of it into an ultrasonic bath and like ultrasonicked the goop out of the keyboards, like liquid and just crumbs and stuff, and it fixed it. But the ultrasonic bath is like $1,500. So it's like only professionals have like the right equipment to even just try to clean these keyboards out. I think it's got to the point where there's a class action lawsuit, and Apple had to set up a program where if you had a laptop like that, you could turn it into them, and they would replace the keyboards for free. Probably with like the latest generation of Butterfly keyboards that they came out. Like there was 4 different revisions of it, and the 4th revision had some sort of membrane put in there so that it wouldn't be as bad. But mostly, it was just a flawed design from the very beginning, and they switched away from that after 2018. So let's see what's in the chat. Let's see. Da, 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 da.
Happy you have to do toys with cats because we got over $20 donation.
You have to do toys with cats, and I'm glad you have. I have this magic voice in my head saying I have to do toys with cats. So let's do toys with cats, everybody. Variety show. Hey. All right. Toys with cats. Toys with cats. Here we go this way. And let's go like this and try to like get a cat. Try to capture it. Maybe. Yeah, I can throw the cat in here somehow. Just cleaning up some stuff here. All right. So now, pick. I restrung. This pole was like not. It was not. Uh, all the string was sort of peeled off of it because the cat scratched on it a lot. So I went and bought another 100-foot roll of sisal rope from like store. Restrung it. Oh, sharpen their claws all day long. Okay, cats, come here. Oh yes, I can hear them galloping. Come here. Oh yes. Oh yes. Here we go. Oh yes. Here we go. Let's open area. Here. Here. Thanks. Here. Hey, we might have to switch twice. No, not two and two. Yeah, think about this one. Okay. Go to lasers. Out of bullets. Switch the guns. Switch the lasers. Here we go. Here we go. Oh wow. Here we go.
I like how Cleo just ran away. He's like, no. This is the most our living room has ever been perceived. Like, it's even in the Ask video, and it still feels more perceived right now. Just saying.
This is where we spend our time. If we're not
Meowdy.
streaming, we're maybe in here and hanging
Welcome
out
to
on
the
these
Clouder
couches
Bear
with the
Jew.
cats. Am I too far away from the microphone? Sorry.
We can still
Here,
hear
let
you.
me just go this way.
I'm gonna go text Jesse.
Right. Okay, now everyone should hear me now. Okay, cats, come on. Come on, cats. Run around. They don't really want to run around right now. Oh, yeah. Get that.
Oh, is this One Piece? Nami's song, it sure is. The song credit is on screen, but I can also plop it in chat for folks.
Oh.
I know B is
Oh.
super into this. Are you doing laser pointers?
Yeah. These are
That's fun.
pointers. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to turn the chroma key off so that we're not making the green go away.
Well, okay. Well, they're a little disinterested at the moment, so a little bit later there'll be more. We can do more later. All right, here we go again. Hi, everybody. I can laser pointer him from here, and it's like. All right. Let's
I have
see.
now texted Jesse, so I will check off acknowledged on stream now.
You remember using a quarter to swap the battery? Yes. Yep. The battery compartment. Right there. It's a slot where you can just take a coin and open it up. Or if you have really strong fingernails, but I don't recommend that. Okay. Sorceress Emily. I always hated that they call the motherboard the logic board. I know that's an apparently gendered term, but if they do it because of that, it would be nice if they push others to match, not just do their own weird thing. Yeah, I mean, that's funny. I never put any, like two thoughts together about the name of the board. Huh. Yeah. It's amazing how much stuff breaks from just being dirty. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's very true. Let's see. Juliet Maddie says, "We remember those keyboards? Yeah, they're pretty pretty notorious for getting stuff kind of underneath of them. If you had a bunch of confidence with older tech, would you consider doing mods to old computer?
Oh yeah,
If
she's
I
already
had
been
a
doing that.
mods to an old computer.
I mean, you've put Linux on
Um,
old Apple things and stuff. Is that what you mean, or is it physical mods? Are we talking
yeah,
hardware or
that's what
software, Bear Jew?
I'm just kind of wondering. Also, is that name from Inglorious Bastards? I'm just kind of wondering. Hardware mods. Huh. Confidence with older tech. Well, uh I mean, the most I really do on that is we'll take the old spinning hard drives out and I'll put SSDs in. I'm not I don't know electronics all that well, like soldering and all of that stuff. Trashcan Wolves, thoughts on agile development methodology? Oh, ha ha ha, wow. Wow, just cracking open that can of worms, huh? Yeah, well, huh. It's interesting because I'm used to working with tower PCs, but seeing someone update a laptop seems interesting. Oh, okay. Old computer hardware is such a nightmare to me. I never want to go back to ribbon cables. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, ribbon cables are still here because we've got SATA drives still. Um, I mean, there's probably some ribbon cables in modern builds, I would think, just a few. Like some special cases, you can slot the drives in, and it's all on like a what do they call that? Like a daughter board or something. that I guess that kind of ties into the motherboard. There's the daughter board, and then that sits in a slot, and then that has like SATA like connections, which is sort of like if you crack open a NAS, like a Synology or something. All it is like a board with the drive connections on soldered on. You just like kind of plug the drive into it. There's no cables at all. Okay, so thoughts on Agile. So yeah, uh, I've done Scrum before, and I've done Lean before, and I'm more on the Lean camp than the Scrum camp. Scrum is done wrong pretty much every time I've ever seen it done. It's because it's like it like proscribes one way of doing something. Uh, and it sort of works against what capitalism wants to see out of engineering. um, because Scrum really works well whenever you're a startup that is in stealth mode and doesn't have to answer to shareholders or really any kind of market pressure or anything like that. Like having a team co-located in person, not remote, um, sort of all in the same room, and they need to have some sort of process because it would be complete anarchy without it. So Scrum, here we go, Agile methodology. You design as you go. Um, that is the drawback, is that you don't get very deep thought into what you're doing. You only have as much thought as the length of your sprint. And that's usually 2 weeks. And if it's like a complicated thing you're trying to put to market, you're going to need more than 2 weeks to put something together that's any kind of technical. That's my sort of hot take on it. Lean is better, in my opinion. It's more, it's a methodology that's more meant for mature, businesses, not startups. So it really depends upon like the culture, the size of the company. If you're producing products that are in market or are producing products that haven't seen the market yet. Um, and there's all sorts of opinions about what's better out there. But I've never seen Scrum work well. Let's just say it's always just been kind of like, yeah, we're going to follow Scrum until management decides, well, we're going to change this rule here, but the whole thing kind of falls apart if you don't follow the philosophy. So now you've just got your own cobbled together process. It sort of turns into a ball of mud if you don't do it right. All right. Lean is cool though. Yes. Who likes Agile? Raise their hand. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. If you have with VS Code with it, help you put it on screen. They have to answer to angel investors if they need funding though. That's true. I've never really put any thought into what type of business cadence to use for a team. It feels like I just adjust based on what the team priorities are. Okay. Yeah. So I think it really does depend upon um it depends upon a lot of things. The culture is one thing. Like if you've got a lot of really smart people, like seasoned engineers, let's just say, and they know what they want to do. They've got a pretty clear vision about what they want to put out and how to get it done. I mean, just let them self organize. and something will fall out of it. When you've got a lot of people that aren't as experienced, then they need a lot more structure, sort of like children. So you can provide them some structure um, to follow. Like with Scrum, there's uh, you've got 2 weeks to get an iteration done, and at the end of the iteration, you have to have something to demo for someone to look at. So that's sort of like, okay, so don't waste your time. In 2 weeks, you got to have something to demo because we're going to pull a customer in or some stakeholder, and they're going to look at what you worked on and give you feedback. That's in theory supposed to happen, but I've never seen it done that way, especially with enterprise companies, which I tend to work for. Um, the customer isn't involved at all, actually. We just write stuff and shove it out the door, and maybe it works for them. We get product management supposed to be the people that are telling us like what customers want to see built, or what they want, like what sort of, they're supposed to provide the vision of like, okay, this thing's on the horizon, so you need to go and build that, because once that's written and you put it to market, the customer's like, oh, hallelujah, we can have this thing. Oh, ha 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 ha. So, uh, yeah, I went on a tear on that. I used Waterfall for the startup I worked in. We really needed the guidance of high and low level designs before putting any hands on keyboards or code on a screen. Honestly, their Waterfall, not that bad, actually. I might be showing my age with that. Like defending Waterfall. But it does have its merits. It really does. Like the space shuttle, designed by Waterfall method, was not designed by Agile, because that is why Elon Musk's stuff blows up on the launch pad, and just Tesla cars, just the Cybertruck. Look at that. If there's anything to point at, saying, here's a thing designed with an agile process, the Cybertruck, probably a good example of that. What a pile. It's pretty sad, actually. There's a video floating around on YouTube about, oh, there's this really obnoxious YouTube streamer. I think his name's Cody, and he makes it sort of his thing where he'll get like this top end vehicle like Ferrari or a Cybertruck or like a tank or something, and proceeds to destroy it, just by doing really dumb stuff to it. So um uh and they hooked the Cybertruck up to its hitch, its actual hitch that it comes with, to try to pull, like, it was just like a normal, like, get the truck out of the mud sort of situation or something. Like, they had another truck that was stuck, so they took the Cybertruck and took its hitch, its actual hitch, and hooked it onto the truck and tried to like pull the truck out. And the Cybertruck's bumper like snaps off the frame. The frame is made out of cast aluminum, and you get to see like a close-up of what this frame's made of, and you wonder how that thing's even driving around on a road. So if you ever see a Cybertruck pulling a boat or anything behind it, don't be behind it. Nope. No way. That boat will snap off that thing and just go, into the other lane of traffic or something. It's bad. So just you heard it here first. Please be careful when you see Cybertrucks trying to do more than they're designed to do, which is anything really. Are you saying you don't want an electric vehicle with PS1 graphics? Are you talking about the that it looks like it's um like the shaders, like the shaders are not very oh, here, just a second. Gotta see this. Okay. Let's do it post break. Let's just watch the cats like attack each other. Cats, 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 cats. Laser, laser, get the laser. Get it, get it, get it. Come on. There we go. All right. Um, are we doing ads yet or no? I don't know what I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, 6 minutes. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna read the chat. Just a sec here. Da, da, da. Cybertruck is safety critical system design gone horribly wrong. Yeah, like I don't know how they designed that thing, but it seems to me they should have probably spent a little bit more time on it, designing it. Um, I really don't have much more to say other than
Woo woo.
no. Oh yes, thank you, Clarity. Some
That means toys with cats time.
toys with cats time. Got it. The camera. Get it. No. Oh God, no. But oh, there we are. Okay. Okay. Go. Ooh, that's fun. All right. Let's see what Beatrix does with one of these. Get it. Oh, got another. Got another. What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do? Get it. All right. Let's see.
I like how you made a pile of Pan Pride springs on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. We can put the cat tree over here.
I love how Cleo is like sprawled out. She's like guarding that blue spring. Chandra, you got here just in time for cats.
Oh, they got your served by food
Oh, yep.
off.
They did.
Well,
The food does that.
The food took advantage, took precedence.
If you
Back to
crop in
me.
really close on your face, you could carry us to the food. Or we could watch them eat dinner.
Okay, I'll do that. Ooh,
I just realized we're going to
Be a
lose the
trick.
microphone part, so good luck, everyone. I'll just do the talking. Because I think, I don't know if you'll still be able to hear me. Your phone might disconnect from the Discord device. We're on an adventure, everyone. And copy, if you tap the screen in the middle. Oh, look at that. Did she already finish eating? That was so fast. They are adventuring. They're being so cute. Look at them go. Oh, chat, we're going to have ads in 23 seconds. So I guess if you don't want to miss cats eating dinner, you might need to subscribe. If anyone has Amazon Prime, you have a free Prime sub that you could use if you would like to sub to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and it costs Jeff Bezos $2.50 or so. That's pretty cool. I'm adding to the incentives. Did Clarity get to pick a book yet? It's a very intimidating smile. I'm helping with the content by managing the incentives on the screen. You love costing Bezos money. Yeah. It's true.
Okay, get a good
You're
shot
debating
of.
between Puss in Boots and lesbian erotica? Oh, man. You can donate twice and pick both.
We even have like some cool stuff here. Like this one. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Cappy, will you pull out some of your lesbian erotica poetry books? Just in case we go that way.
Yes.
Just casually update my stream content labels, just in case. Sexual themes. There you go. Just in case.
Capybara sexual themes times.
One of the timers that just went off is not supposed to be going off. I think I know why it did, though. Yeah. Just need to turn that one off all the way. We'll be set up by stream by the time stream is over. That is always how it goes.
Meowdy.
Welcome to the Clouder Voxelotl. I'm looking forward to streaming with you for Jazz and Teal's mutual aid event this weekend. I'm the disembodied voice. My beloved wife, Trans Capybara, is on stream.
Hello, hi. Hello. Yes.
And Voxelotl BT boop. I just dropped Voxelotl a little cheeky follow yesterday. But yes, my wife Capybara is on stream, and I'm the disembodied voice producing the stream of her beautiful face for all of you to perceive.
Dickinson.
Cappy, I have added an additional milestone or incentive.
Okay.
$100 or more, and we will feed the cats wet food or a treat.
Okay. Please let me know when we hit it.
It's an if, not a when. But yes, I will let you know.
I have faith. Okay, I think I got a pretty lengthy one here.
It's not working. I broke it.
Okay, so here we go. From the poems of Emily Dickinson. Her breast is fit for pearls, but I was not a diver. Her brow is fit for thrones, but I have not a crest. Her heart is fit for home, I a sparrow build there. Sweet of twigs and twine my perennial nest. The lady feeds her little bird at rarer intervals. The little bird would not dissent, but meekly recognize the gulf between the hand and her, and crumbless and afar.
Oh my gosh, Sorceress Emily. Tier 3 sub for 6 months. Thank you so much.
Wow.
That's very generous.
Nice. Thank you. Dang. All right. Let's start over with this poem here.
Sorry to interrupt your poem.
The lady feeds her little bird at rarer intervals. The little bird would not dissent, but meekly recognize the gulf between the hand and her, and crumbless and afar, and fainting on her yellow knee, fall softly and adore. I showed her heights she never saw. Wouldst climb? I said. She said, not so. With me? I said, with me? I showed her secrets, morning's nest, the rope the nights were put across. And now, wouldst have me for a guest? She could not find her yes. And then I break my life, and lo, a light for her did solemn glow. the larger as her face withdrew, and could she further know? You love me, you are sure. I shall not fear mistake. I shall not cheated wake some grinning morn to find the sunrise left, and orchards unbereft, and Dolly gone. Dolly was Emily's pet name for Sue Gilbert. Mm. I need not start, you're sure. That night will never be. When frightened, home to thee I run, to find the windows dark, and no more Dolly. Mark. Quite none? Be sure you're sure, you know. I'll bear it better now. If you'll just tell me so, that when a little dull balm grown over this pain of mine, you sting again. Like eyes that looked on wastes, incredulous of aught, but blank and steady wilderness, diversified by night. Just infinites of naught, as far as it could see. So looked the face I looked upon, so looked itself on me. I offered it no help, because the cause was mine, the misery a compact, as hopeless as to find. Neither would be absolved, neither would be a queen. Without the other, therefore, we perish though we reign. Let's see what else we have. This is a long one. Okay, this one's called Goblin Market.
Oh,
We're
fascinating.
reading from Chloe and Olivia. Goblin Market. So this is from Christina Rossetti. Morning and evening. Maids heard the goblins cry, "Come buy our orchard fruits. Come buy, come buy. Apples and quinces, lemons and oranges, plump unpacked cherries, melons and raspberries, bloom down cheeked peaches, swart-headed mulberries, wild free-born cranberries, crab apples, dewberries, pineapples, blackberries, apricots, strawberries, all ripe together in summer weather. Morns that pass by, fair eves that fly, come buy, our grapes fresh from the vine, pomegranates full and fine, dates and sharp bullaces, rare pears and green gages, damsons and bilberries, taste them and try, currants and gooseberries, bright fire like barberries, figs to fill your mouth, citrons from the south, sweet to tongue and sound to eye, come buy, come buy. Evening by evening among the brookside rushes, Laura bowed her head to hear, Lizzie veiled her blushes. Crouching close together in the cooling weather, with clasping arms and cautioning lips, with tingling cheeks and fingertips. Lie close, Laura said, pricking up her golden head. We must not look at goblin men. We must not buy their fruits. Who knows upon what soil they fed their hungry, thirsty roots? Come buy, call the goblins. hobbling down the glen. "Oh," cried Lizzie. "Laura, Laura, you should not peep at goblin men." Lizzie covered up her eyes, covered close lest they should look. Laura reared her glossy head and whispered like the restless brook. Look, Lizzie, down the glen tramp little men. One hauls a basket, one bears a plate, one lugs a golden dish of how many pounds weight. How fair the vine must grow, whose grapes are so luscious. How warm the wind must blow through those fruit bushes. No, said Lizzie, no, no, no. Their offers should not charm us. Their evil gifts would harm us. She thrust a dimpled finger in each ear, shut eyes and ran. Curious Laura chose to linger, wondering at each merchant man. One had a cat's face, one whisked a tail, one tramped at a rat's pace, one crawled like a snail, one like a wombat prowled obtuse and furry, one like a rattle tumbled hurry-scurry. She heard a voice like voice of doves, cooing all together. They sounded kind and full of loves in the pleasant weather. Laura stretched her gleaming neck like a rush-embedded swan, like a lily from the beck, like a moonlit poplar branch, like a vessel at the launch when its last restraint is gone. Backwards up the mossy glen turned and trooped the goblin men, with their shrill repeated cry, "Come by, come by." When they reached where Laura was, they stood stock still upon the moss, leering at each other, brother with queer brother, signaling each other, brother with sly brother. One set his basket down, one reared his plate, one began to weave a crown of tendrils, leaves, and rough nuts brown. Men sell not such in any town. One heaved the golden weight of dish and fruit to offer her. Come by, was still their cry. Laura stared but did not stir, longed but had no money. The whisk-tailed merchant bade her taste, in tones as smooth as honey. Cat-face purred, the rat-paced spoke a word of welcome, and the snail-paced even was heard. One parrot-voiced and jolly cried, "Pretty goblin," still for pretty Polly. One whistled like a bird. But sweet-toothed Laura spoke in haste, "Good folk, I have no coin. To take were to purloin. I have no copper in my purse, I have no silver either, and all my gold is on the furze that shakes in windy weather, above the rusty heather." "You have much gold upon your head," they answered all together. "Buy from us with a golden curl." She clipped a precious golden lock. She dropped a tear more rare than pearl, then sucked their fruit globes fair or red, sweeter than honey from the rock, stronger than man-rejoicing wine, clearer than water flowed that juice. She never tasted such before. How should it cloy with length of use? She sucked and sucked and sucked the more fruits which that unknown orchard bore. She sucked until her lips were sore, then flung the emptied rinds away, but gathered up one kernel stone, and knew not was it night or day as she turned home alone. Lizzie met her at the gate, full of wise upbraidings. "Dear, you should not stay so late. Twilight is not good for maidens. Should not loiter in the glen in the haunts of goblin men. Do you not remember Jeanie, how she met them in the moonlight? Took their gifts both choice and many, ate their fruits and wore their flowers plucked from bowers. where summer ripens at all hours, but ever in the moonlight she pined and pined away, sought them by day, night and day, found them no more, but dwindled and drew gray, then fell with the first snow, while to this day no grass will grow where she lies low. I planted daisies there a year ago, that never blow. You should not loiter so. Nay, hush, said Laura, nay, hush, my sister. I ate and ate my fill. Yet my mouth waters still. Tomorrow night I will buy more, and kissed her. Have done with sorrow, I'll bring you plums tomorrow, fresh on their mother twigs, cherries worth getting. You cannot think what figs my teeth have met in, what melons icy cold piled on a dish of gold, too huge for me to hold, what peaches with a velvet nap, pellucid grapes without one seed. Odorous indeed must be the mead whereon they grow, and pure the wave they drink, with lilies at the brink, and sugar sweet their sap. Golden head by golden head, like two pigeons in one nest, folded in each other's wings, they lay down in their curtained bed, like two blossoms on one stem, like two flakes of new fallen snow, like two wands of ivory tipped with gold for awful kings. Moon and stars gazed in at them, wind sang them to lullaby. Lumbering owls forbore to fly, not a bat flapped to and fro round their nest, cheek to cheek and breast to breast, locked together in one nest. Early in the morning, when the first cock crowed his warning, neat like bees, as sweet and busy, Laura rose with Lizzie. Fetched in honey, milks the cows, aired and set to rights the house, kneaded cakes of whitest wheat, cakes for dainty mouths to eat. Next churned butter, whipped up cream, fed their poultry, sat and sewed, talked as modest maidens should, Lizzie with an open heart, Laura in an absent dream, one content, one sick in part, one warbling for the mere bright day's delight, one longing for the night. At length slow evening came. They went with pitchers to the reedy brook, Lizzie most placid in her look, Laura most like a leaping flame. They drew the gurgling water from its deep. Lizzie plucked purple and rich golden flags, then turning homeward said, the sunset flushes those furthest loftiest crags. Come, Laura, not another maiden lags, no wilful squirrel wags, the beasts and birds are fast asleep. But Laura loitered still among the rushes and sang and said the bank was steep, and said the hour was early still, the dew not fallen, the wind not chill, listening ever, but not catching the customary cry, come by, come by, with its iterated jingle of sugar-baited words, not for all her watching, once discerning even one goblin, racing, whisking, tumbling, hobbling, let alone the herds that used to tramp along the glen in groups or single of brisk fruit merchantmen. Till Lizzie urged, oh, Laura, come, I hear the fruit call, but I dare not look. You should not loiter longer at this brook. Come with me home. The stars rise, the moon bends her arc. Each glowworm winks her spark. Let us get home before the night grows dark, for clouds may gather. Though this is summer weather, put out the lights and drench us through. Then if we lost our way, what should we do? Laura turned cold as stone to find her sister heard that cry alone, that goblin cry, come buy our fruits, come buy. Must she then buy no more such dainty fruit? Must she no more such succulous pasture find? Gone deaf and blind? Her tree of life drooped from the root. She said not one word in her heart's sore ache, but peering through the dimness, not discerning, trudged home, her pitcher dripping all the way. So crept to bed and lay, silent till Lizzie slept, then sat up in a passionate yearning, and gnashed her teeth for balked desire, and wept as if her heart would break. Day after day, night after night, Laura kept watch in vain, in sullen silence of exceeding pain. She never caught again the goblin cry, "Come buy, come buy." She never spied the goblin men, hawking their fruits along the glen. But when the noon waxed bright, her hair grew thin and gray. She dwindled as the fair full moon doth turn to swift decay and burn her fire away. One day, remembering her kernel stone, she set it by a wall that faced the south, dewed it with tears, hoped for a root, watched for a waxing shoot, but there came none. It never saw the sun. It never felt the trickling moisture run, while with sunk eyes and faded mouth she dreamed of melons as a traveler sees false waves in desert drought, with shade of leaf-crowned trees, and burns the thirstier in the sandful breeze. She no more swept the house, tended the fowls or cows, fetched honey, kneaded cakes of wheat, brought water from the brook, but sat down listless in the chimney nook and would not eat. Tender Lizzie could not bear to watch her sister's cankerous care, yet not to share she night and morning caught the goblin's cry, "Come buy our orchard fruits, come buy, come buy." Beside the brook, along the glen, she heard the tramp of goblin men. The voice and stir poor Laura could not hear, longed to buy fruit to comfort her, but feared to pay too dear. She thought of Jeanie in her grave, who should have been a bride, but who for joy's brides hoped to have, fell sick and died in her gay prime, in earliest winter time, with the first glazing rime, with the first snowfall of crisp winter time. Till Laura dwindling seemed knocking at death's door. Then Lizzie weighed no more, better and worse, but put a silver penny in her purse, kissed Laura across the heath of clumps of firs, at twilight halted by the brook, and for the first time in her life began to listen and look. Laughed every goblin when they spied her peeping, came towards her hobbling, flying, running, leaping, puffing and blowing, chuckling, clapping, crowing, clucking and gobbling, mopping and mowing, full of airs and graces, pulling wry faces, demure grimaces, cat-like and rat-like, rattle and wombat-like, snail-paced in a hurry, parrot-voiced and whistler, helter-skelter, hurry-scurry, chattering like magpies, fluttering like pigeons, gliding like fishes, hugged her and kissed her, squeezed and caressed her, stretched up their dishes, panniers and plates. "Look at our apples, russet and done. Look at our cherries, bite at our peaches, citrons and dates, grapes for the asking, pears ripe red from with basking out in the sun, plums on their twigs, pluck them and suck them, pomegranates and figs." "Good folk," said Lizzie, mindful of Jeanie, "give me much and many," held out her apron, tossed them her penny. "Nay, take a seat with us, honor and eat with us." They answered grinning, "Our feast is but beginning." Night yet is early, warm and dew pearly, wakeful and starry. Such fruits as these no man can carry. Half their bloom would fly, half their dew would dry, half their flavor would pass by. Sit down and feast with us. Be welcome guest with us. Cheer you and rest with us. It's like 5 pages more of this. Shall I keep going? Yeah, I kind of like this poem. Pretty cool. I say yes, says Clarity. There's a poll now for if I continue reading this poem. So please vote in the poll. Am I enjoying it? Yes, I am enjoying reading this poem. I have never read this poem before, but it's full of innuendo and I love it. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing I'm hearing voices in my head that are spicy. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. Did the poll 4 votes? All righty then. Yeah, all right. Thank you, says Lizzie, but one waits at home alone for me. So without further parleying, if you will not sell me any of your fruits, though much and many, give me back my silver penny I tossed you for a fee. They began to scratch their pates, no longer wagging and purring, but visibly demurring, grunting and snarling. One called her proud, cross-grained, uncivil. Their tones waxed loud. Their looks were evil, lashing their tails. They trod and hustled her, elbowed and jostled her, clawed with their nails, barking, mewing, hissing, mocking, tore her gown and soiled her stocking, twitched her hair out by the roots, stamped upon her tender feet, held her hands and squeezed their fruits against her mouth to make her eat. White and golden Lizzie stood, like a lily in a flood, like a rock of blue-veined stone, lashed by tides obstrepitously. That's a word I've never seen. Obstreperously. Obstreperously. Obstrepless. I don't know how to pronounce that. Like a beacon left alone in a hoary roaring sea, sending up a golden fire, like a fruit-crowned orange tree, white with blossoms honey sweet, sore beset by wasp and bee, like a royal virgin town, topped with gilded dome and spire, close beleaguered by a fleet mad to tuck her standard down. One may lead a horse to water, 20 cannot make him drink. Though the goblins cuffed and caught her, coaxed and fought her, bullied and besought her, scratched her, pinched her black as ink, kicked and knocked her, mauled and mocked her, Lizzie uttered not a word, would not open lip from lip, lest they should cram a mouthful in, but laughed in heart to feel the drip of juice that syruped all her face and lodged in temples of her chin and streaked her neck which quaked like curd. At last the evil people, worn out by her resistance, flung back her penny, kicked their fruit along whichever road they took, not leaving root or stone or shoot. Some writhed into the ground, some dived into the brook. With ring and ripple, some scudded on the gale without a sound, some vanished in the distance. In a smart ache tingle, Lizzie went her way, knew not it was night or day, sprang up the bank, tore through the furze, threaded copse and dingle, and heard her penny jingle, bouncing in her purse. Its bounce was music to her ear. She ran and ran as if she feared some goblin man dogged her with gibe or curse, or something worse, but not one goblin scurried after. Nor was she pricked by fear. The kind heart made her windy paced, that urged her home quite out of breath with haste. And inward laughter, she cried, Laura, up the garden. Did you miss me? Come and kiss me. Never mind my bruises. Hug me, kiss me, suck my juices. Squeezed from goblin fruits for you. Goblin pulp and goblin dew. Eat me, drink me, love me. Laura, make much of me. For your sake I have braved the glen and had to do with goblin merchantmen. Laura started from her chair, flung her arms up in the air, clutched her hair. Lizzie, Lizzie, have you tasted, for my sake, the fruit forbidden? Must your light like mine be hidden, your young life like mine be wasted, undone in mine undoing, and ruined in my ruin? Thirsty, cankered, goblin-ridden, she clung about her sister, kissed and kissed and kissed her. Tears once again refreshed her shrunken eyes, dropping like rain after long sultry drought. Shaking with anguish, fear, and pain, she kissed and kissed her with a hungry mouth. Her lips began to scorch, that juice was wormwood to her tongue. She loathed the feast, writhing as one possessed she leaped and sung, rent all her robe and wrung her hands in lamentable haste, and beat her breast, her locks streamed like the torch borne by a racer at full speed, or like the mane of horses in their flight, or like an eagle when she stems the light straight toward the sun, or like a caged thing freed, or like a flying flag when armies run. Swift fire spread through her veins, knocked at her heart, met the fire smoldering there, and overbore its lesser flame. She gorged on bitterness without a name. Ah, fool, to choose such part of soul-consuming care, since failed in the mortal strife like the watchtower of a town, which an earthquake shatters down, like a lightning-stricken mast, like a wind-uprooted tree, spun about, like a foam-topped waterspout, cast down headlong in the sea. She fell at last, pleasure past and anguish past. Is it death or is it life? Life out of death. That night long Lizzie watched by her, counted her pulses flagging stir, felt for her breath, held water to her lips, and cooled her face with tears and fanning leaves. But when the first birds chirped about their eaves, and early reapers plodded to the place of golden sheaves and dew-wet grass, bowed in the morning winds so brisk to pass, and new buds with new day opened like of cup-like lilies on the stream, Laura awoke as from a dream, laughed in the innocent old way, hugged Lizzie, but not twice or thrice. Her gleaming locks showed not one thread of gray. Her breath was sweet as May, and the light danced in her eyes. Days, weeks, months, years afterwards, when both were wives with children of their own, their mother hearts beset with fears, their lives bound up in tender lives, Laura would call the little ones and tell them of her early prime, those pleasant days long gone of not returning time. Would talk about the haunted glen, the wicked quaint fruit merchant men, their fruits like honey to the throat, but poison in the blood. Men sell not such in any town. Would tell them how her sister stood in deadly peril to do her good, and win the fiery antidote. Then, joining hands to little hands, would bid them cling together, for there is no friend like a sister in calm or stormy weather, to cheer one on the tedious way, to fetch one if one goes astray, to lift one if one totters down, to strengthen whilst one stands. It's good. It's like a story in poem form. I love it. There's some choice quotes in that one, that's for sure.
Thank you for that
All right,
amazing reading, Cappy. So, chat,
let's go to the chat.
we are
Go to the
$75
chat.
away from our voice clip giveaway from Bear. And
We're $75 away from a voice clip giveaway from Bear.
yes, they can hear me right now. And we are $175 away from a Yarncraft giveaway that Ray of Swords will make a Yarncraft of your choice and send it to you. I won one of these earlier this event, and I'm getting a Disability Pride beanie. And when we were streaming yesterday, Ray said that it would also make a Yarncrafted body part for you if anyone was feeling spicy and would like their own dickle, for example. You could have one made out of yarn that's in your house that you can enjoy forever. So you can also do Pride Pokeballs or a festive bauble, like a holiday bauble. So there's many silly little yarn things that Ray can make for you, and that is $175 away. We are also at overall for the whole event $10,595. So we are just under $5 away from hitting $10,600, which is amazing. So, as a reminder of our incentives, any donation, you get to choose the next book that gets read. If you pay $5 or more, we can focus on the cats. We can, like, maybe Cappy will keep reading, but switch the camera around to look at cats. $20 or more, we'll do toys with cats. And there's actually a feather wanda we haven't gotten out yet we could do with them. And $100 or more, we will give them wet food or treats, which is very fun. So I think Cappy's seeking cats. There you go. There's a kitty to enjoy. So there's the cat part of the
Enjoy
Just
the cat.
Catting stream. Will you aim it a little higher, hun? Because Bee's face is covered by the stuff on screen. There you go. That's better. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. That's what's up. And stream is going for another half an hour. So if you are excited about wet food or anything like that, we'll need enough time to show you the cats doing those things. So we have half an hour of vibing left tonight. Oh my goodness, is it catnip time? Like it's catnip time. Time to get those little kitties hyped up.
Okay, while you watch the cat, I'm going to read Puss in Boots.
Wonderful. Who's still in chat? Have we lost all the programmers and we just have the lesbians now? Have any programming related or focused friends? I will mention on Tuesday of next week we have another special / silly stream. Debbie, my hairdresser, my barber / hairdresser is coming to the house, and we're gonna do a stream where we dye my hair purple and decorate my beard with flowers. Sapphic queer fella, exactly. I like to say that because I'm non-binary, I can be a lesbian and a gay man at the same time and also at different times. You can just take turns. Depends which gender I'm leaning into in the moment. So that's fun. Oh my gosh. Bee is so cute and sleepy right now. Look at her. Somewhat, it's me. This is Bert. It's me. Gay and lesbian, same time, never straight. Only flavors of queer. Wahaha. Oh, there's Cappy's beautiful freckled arm. Hi, honey. We're perceiving you. Oh, now we're seeing cats somewhere.
Hey, Puss in Boots.
You want to tell the story? Oh, you're gonna read Puss in Boots. Oh, we look at Bee. That's
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah. Puss in Boots. Once upon a time, there was a miller who had 3 sons. When he died, he left the mill to his eldest son, his donkey to his second son, while to his youngest son, John, he left a cat. The two eldest brothers now work as partners, but they did not want the youngest to join them at all. What use is a cat? They scoffed. Why should we share with you? John was wandering sadly away when he heard a voice behind him. Master, it said. I wonder if I should substitute that word. I probably should. Let's use the word leader. Leader, it said. Or how about captain? I'm going to use captain. Captain, it said. Turning, John saw his cat looking at him with wise green eyes. A talking cat, gasped John. Yes. If you will only buy me a pair of smart boots, I will make your fortune, answered the cat. Now John had very little money to spend on anything and was hoping to buy himself some supper. But he decided to trust what his cat said. So off he went to the bootmaker and purchased the most beautiful little pair of blacktop boots with smart red heels.
I didn't know there was red heels.
Red heels. Puss was delighted. The boots fitted him perfectly. Then, standing on his hind legs, he marched up
Grab
and
the
down,
confetti.
looking
This
as
is
if
not
he
a
had
drill.
worn boots all his
I
life.
just got raided by Kamianya.
Oh, Kamianya. Hi,
Welcome
Raiders.
in, Raiders.
I'm reading Puss in Boots. I just started.
And they were
Thank
playing Cat
you,
Quest 3.
Nice.
How was Cat Quest 3? Did you have lots of fun? I hope it was amazing. It was so
That's cool.
fun. I'm so glad. So Cat Quest 3 comes out tomorrow, and Kamianya got a promo copy.
Nice.
So chat, just to catch you up, any donation and you get to pick what book or story we read next. $5 or more and we will focus on the cats. So right now we're focused on the cats. There's Bee having a little nap. Very cute. $20 or more and we will do toy time with the cats. We'll get the toys out and play with them. $100 or more and we will do wet food or treats for the cats. And I actually might be able to get Beatrix to do some tricks for you if you are interested in that. So there's also Kira art available. If you type !Kira, you can go check out what it is, and you have to be including the Kira art info in your donation for it to count. I just remembered that was part of the directions. So anyways, there's all of that info. And if you all decided to coordinate in chat and like get 4 people to do 25 each to do the wet food and treats for the cats, it's okay if you team up to do stuff like that. We just managed to, before you rate it in, unlock the $1,000 incentive of doing a watch party with Jessie Gender in the Clouder server. So I've texted Jessie so we can schedule that. Very exciting. And we are $75 away from a voice clip from Bear and $175 away from a small yarn craft from Ray of Swords. So it is epic. The art is gorgeous. I agree. Gorgeous art. Epic that we get to watch Identities with its creator and writer and producer, Jessie Gender, in the Clouder Discord server. Here's the server invite in case you're not already in there. And Transcapybara is doing the reading. This is Meowster. I'm the disembodied voice coming over the microphone. I'm producing from the bedroom, and Cappy is in the living room where the cats and the books are. So we're doing magical mischief things so that you can enjoy. Kami, thank you for raiding and running. Please get some rest, and we'll see you this weekend at Jazz and Teal Mutual Aid.
Yes, thank you for raiding in. Okay. So
we bought some boots for Puss in Boots, and they were black boots with red heels. Love you.
Yes. I'll start a little bit behind here. Now John had very little money to spend on anything and was hoping to buy himself some supper, but he decided to trust what his cat said. So off he went to the bootmaker and purchased the most beautiful little pair of blacktop boots with smart red heels. Puss was delighted. The boots fitted him perfectly. Then, standing on his hind legs, he marched up and down, looking as if he had worn boots all his life. "Thank you, Captain," purred Puss. "Now, if you wait here for me, I'm off to make you rich." First, Puss took a big sack which he filled with cabbage leaves. Then, with a swish of his thick furry tail, he was away down the road. Soon Puss left the road and ran across the fields until he came to a rabbit warren. There, creeping up very quietly, he propped his sack open and hid himself. Soon some inquisitive rabbits were sniffing round the sack. A large, greedy rabbit pushed the others aside and, hopping into the open sack, started to gobble up the cabbages. Sly Captain Puss, who had been watching carefully, quickly pulled tight the string he had tied around his sack. After disposing of the rabbit with merciful swiftness, Puss lifted the sack onto his shoulder and marched straight to the royal palace. Now it happened that His Majesty the King's very favorite dish was fresh rabbit pie. Clever Puss knew this and hoped to get an audience with His Majesty. "I must think up a grand name for my captain," mused Puss. "Ah, I have it. The Marquis of, let me see, Carabas. That has a nice purr to it. The Marquis of Carabas." At first, Puss was afraid he might have some difficulty getting past the guards. In fact, the soldiers were so astonished to see a cat walking by on his hind legs, and wearing boots too, that they let him pass without question. "It must be some new joke of the court pages," remarked the captain of the guard, and he escorted Puss to the king himself. Here Captain Puss swept His Majesty the most elegant bow, and laid the rabbit before him. "A gift, your Majesty, from my dear captain, the noble Marquis of Carabas," said Puss. "A talking cat!" The king was astonished. The captain of the guard was amazed. His Majesty's page was wide-eyed, and His Majesty's little dog could not believe his long curly ears. But kings are too polite to stare for long. "Ha! Fresh rabbit pie! I shall have it tonight. Delicious!" cried the king. "The Marquis of Carabas is too kind. He has, if I may say so, a most unusual gamekeeper." After the king had thanked Puss many times and presented him with a becoming blue jacket, Puss hurried back to his captain. John was very pleased to see him, but a little worried to hear he was supposed to be a marquis. The next day, Puss said, "I have another plan. Go down to the river and take a swim by the bridge. Leave the rest to me." "Well," said John, rubbing Puss's ears fondly, "you are such a clever Puss. I will do anything you say." Off John went to the river, with Puss following. When John had undressed and dived in, Puss took his master's clothes and hid them. Captain's clothes. Just as the cat climbed onto the bridge, there was a sound of hoofbeats and jingling harness. Up drove His Majesty in a fine red coach with his lovely daughter, the princess, at his side. The horses drew to a snorting halt, for Puss was jumping about in the road, mewing and yowling most horribly. "What is it, gamekeeper Puss?" inquired the king, leaning out of the window. "My captain has been robbed," cried Puss. "While he was swimming, thieves came and stole all his clothes. Meow, meow, alas, the poor marquis." The king was most concerned, and immediately sent one of his officers back to the palace to fetch the marquis a splendid suit of clothes. Puss ran ahead of the coach until he came to some reapers harvesting a fine cornfield. "I know an ogre owns these fields," said Puss, "but the king hates ogres, So if he drives this way, tell him the corn belongs to the Marquis of Carabas. Very good, sir, answered the reapers respectfully. Meanwhile, John put on the fine suit that the king had sent for. Stepping out into the road, he bowed gracefully. My dear, said his majesty to the princess, what a fine, handsome young man the Marquis is. Turning to John, he added, come, Marquis, won't you join us in our coach? John accepted gladly, for he had never seen anyone so charming as the princess. The king was a great talker. In fact, he never stopped. But John and the princess, who had fallen very much in love, hardly said anything. Oh, it's love at first sight. The king was delighted with the view. Such rich cornfields, so many fat sheep, such fine cattle and horses grazing on the hills. Funnily enough, whenever he inquired from reapers, shepherds, or herdsmen, to whom do these belong? They all replied, as Puss had taught them, the Marquis of Carabas owns them, your majesty. The Marquis must be immensely wealthy, thought the king, and he ordered his coach to drive to the large castle on the hill overlooking these rich fields. While this was going on, Puss had dashed ahead and reached the castle well in advance. Now, in this castle lived a huge bad-tempered ogre who had stolen it long ago from a rich duke. And what do you want? Growled the ogre when he saw Puss. Ah, Mr. Ogre, replied Puss, trying not to look as frightened as he felt. I have heard you are a marvelous magician and can turn yourself into anything you choose. The ogre, who was very conceited, liked being told he was marvelous. He immediately began to show off his powers. I'll frighten that little cat, he grunted. Hey, presto! In a flash, an enormous lion stood roaring in his place. Wonderful, stammered clever Puss, his tail as fuzzy as a bottle brush with alarm. But surely it's much harder for a big ogre to turn into something tiny. A mouse, perhaps? The ogre was most annoyed that Puss didn't think him clever. Easy, he said, and lo, there sat a mouse. With one big pounce, Puss killed it. And that is the end of the ogre, he purred. I won't eat him. He might taste nasty. And so it was that when the king coach rumbled over the drawbridge and into the castle courtyard, there was Captain Puss waiting at the door. Welcome to the Marquis of Carabas's castle, mewed Puss, bowing politely. The castle was very grand inside, beautifully furnished with fine gold plate on all the tables. All the ogre's vast riches now belonged to John. The king gladly agreed when John and the princess asked him to let them marry. It was the grandest wedding you ever saw, and Puss was the guest of honor. When the king died some years later, John and the princess ruled the land together. John was the finest king the country had had for many years. Puss became a great favorite with the young queen and her children, and John always loved him dearly, valuing him as one of his wisest counselors. That's funny. Right. Oh, dang. Can't reach the camera flipper. Ah.
Thanks for reading the story to us.
Yeah. Welcome. All right. What do we got next?
Did you read all of your Puss in Boots? Was that the end?
That was the end, yeah. And it was a happily ever after. Happily ever after sort of ending on that one.
Indeed. Do you want to tell us about your capybara plushie that's behind you?
This was like, is this a birthday present or a Christmas present? Something like that.
Which.
I got a piece of paper like, you're gonna get this plushie at some point in the future. And I'm like, that's great. And then I waited like 6 months, and then it showed up one day. It is so cool. And I really kind of like the facial expression on the orange that sits on top of the capybara's head. And it's like magnetic. And you can kind of just like turn it, turn it, like like I kind of like making voices like, uh, I'm capybara, and there's my orangey. Yeah, orangey. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's that.
Ooh, woo.
um, let's see.
Oh, Minx, thank you for the $25 donation. Minx says
Oh,
meow, meow, meow.
$25.
So that's Toys
That's
with
Toys with
Cats.
Cats time.
And switch the camera around to focus on some cats. And Minx, if you would like to pick a book, if there's time after cat playtime, we'll prioritize that. But if there's time, you can pick another reading material. We've got software engineering books. We've got lesbian poetry. We've got children's books, all kinds of things. And I'll give a little snoozle to the ads. So thank you for that. I'll go make sure I record that donation right now.
Here you go.
We sure woke B up, didn't we? We are at $150 or $1,050 out of $1,100 to unlock the voice clip with Bears. We're $50 away from giving away that voice clip. We're halfway to the bear voice clip. Whoa! And I'll do Bear's walk on so you can hear Bear's voice clip. Mischief. So Bear does a bit crush thing and does sort of like 80s 90s style bit crush voice clips, and that's a giveaway. So people here get a chance to enter to win that if you'd like. And Bear will say whatever you're asking for. Oh, little Cleo, little snuggle baby. She's such a cutie. And with that donation that just came in, we are at 74.24% of our overall goal, which is amazing. We're almost 3/4 of the way there. For the numbers gaze, there's the numbers in the chat.
Oh, I know.
All right, chat. We have 6 more minutes. I just hit the snooze button so we get more kitty time. We have 3 total cats in the house, Minx. Neferkitty is asleep next to me in the bedroom, and the 2 younger cats are out there playing on camera. They don't play super well together because Neferkitty's 12 and these 2 are about 2 years old. So they're a little too rambunctious for little old lady Neferkitty. So we tend to keep them separated, but Nefer gets lots of snuggles and love with me back here. And when we call them the babies, the two 2-year-olds are the babies. When the babies go to bed around 11 p.m. or midnight, we'll leave our bedroom door open and Neferkitty gets free run of the house for an hour or two. So she gets her, run around the living room and be spunky time as well. But she's got our bedroom and our main bathroom, which is really big for a bathroom. It's ridiculous, actually, how big it is. And she's got 2 different windows she'll sit in and look out, and it's a lovely time to hang out together. All right, folks, it is 9 p.m. Are we ready to prepare for a raid out of here, y'all? You had a session 0 for D&D, Shell. That's fun. And Pirate did crochet. That's lovely. Everyone, don't forget to do your daily click. The link is in the chat. Oh, mini fur babies. That's so cute. Thanks for having a chill time with us here in the living room, y'all. This is kind of
Yeah,
what our lives are
everybody.
like in the evening. We just kind of vibe. It's nice.
Thanks
So,
for vibing with us.
yeah, I'm gonna go find someone
I
for us to
liked it.
read into.
Like cool, like, you know, good times reading books and playing with cats, and if we do another stream, I'll try to be more prepared about what I'm doing, and maybe we can get a capture card and get some like early model Macs. You can watch me like refurb them or something.
Well, I've been wanting a capture card for the living room for a while, so that would be pretty fun.
All right.
I've told you about my ideas. How about this? We'll find a capture card that'll work for that and add it to my throne. And if anyone's feeling generous later, they can make it happen. And if we get a capture card, will you do a stream? Nice. You heard it here first, chat.
Do a stream.
Also, if you're really excited about this idea I just shared, you can DM me. We can work it out directly too. All right, let me go find someone to raid. Ooh, Adventures Pack is live. I want to go there. Let's see if they're like wrapping up or if they're still doing it. They're still doing it. They've been live for 2 hours. They usually go for at least 3. So I have exciting news, chat. I know that you're looking at Cappy's face and not mine. But the channel we're raiding into, Adventures Pack, is actually a channel that I get to guest stream on in about a week and a little bit. Sorry, the music is talking and it's totally distracting me. It's really quiet. I'm just gonna skip to the next song. Anyways, so we're raiding over to Adventures Pack. Let's see, what streams do we have coming up? So tomorrow morning from 11 a.m. until what's up, honey? You're making faces.
I'm trying to mimic you saying stuff.
Oh, that's silly. I mean, I could just come out there and say it, I guess. Do you want me to? I can. I'll come be on cam. Okay, give me just a minute.
All right.
And it's still pointed at you. Haha, it's you again. Ta-da. Hi, chat. Hopefully you can hear me. There for the wiggling. Here you can behold Terra Shard, Fire Terra Charmander, and Cleo eating a bag. Cleo's eating a bag. Fully eating a bag. Yep. Unsupervised for 1 second. Eating a bag. Anyways, so chat, we have plenty of things coming up. Hopefully this mic is pointing in the right direction. Tomorrow morning from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific. So that's 11, 12, 1, 2 to 5 Eastern. The Clouder contributors are going to have Contributor Appreciation Day here on my channel, Gender Meowster. It's our once a month stream that we always do where all the Clouder contributors that want to pile into a voice chat and do events on stream. So it's a fun hangout, little party kind of deal. I know we've been having more of those lately, but it's all because Meowster Mutual Aid rewards. We hit a lot of goals, and so been getting a lot of those rewards. But it's unusual. Usually it's just me and one friend. So Gamesy's actually producing that, which is nice because Gamesy's been on a hiatus. And a couple of other pals are going to be hanging out and playing, I think, Jackbox games and maybe some Drawful too. So if you would like to watch that, maybe even participate, show up tomorrow morning. And then on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific, which is 2 to 5 Eastern, I will be participating in a raid train for Jazz and Teal, who it's Jazz and Teal Mutual Aid. They are losing their housing, and so they need emergency moving funds. They're two trans disabled people of color in the UK who are partnered together and just trying to stay alive and keep a roof over their heads. So this mutual aid event has been thrown together really quickly in like 2 weeks. It's wild. It's like, it was like you've been doing 3 months worth of work in 1 month. Like it is very wild. Nobody is sleeping enough in that little crew. So anyway, so that's coming up. It'll start at the whole event starts at like 4 a.m. on Friday. So all Friday, all Saturday, leaking into the first 4 hours of Sunday in Pacific time. And it starts and ends on Jazz's channel, Jazz Adele Games. If someone can do a shout out for Jazz Adele Games in the chat, that would be great. And yeah, so we are actually almost a quarter of the way to the initial goal, at least before the event even starts. It would be really cool if we got to like 40% before the event started. So Rawlworm has been giving away anyone who donates 15 pounds or more, so not US dollars but pounds, 15 pounds or more, and Rawl will do a drawing for you. And I actually have a really lovely drawing of Fish Rat as a calico. So the face, instead of the, I don't know if it's trout or whatever, is a koi fish. And then the back of the rat is like a calico rat. So if you've been around the channel, you maybe have heard mention of Fish Rat, which is like our channel pet. It's a creature that Mirami made up in a D&D game 4 years ago that we haven't let go of because it's so funny and silly. But anyways, I have a calico fish rat now, which is very fun. It's a sticker in the Discord server. I ran out of emote slots for this channel to put it here. But anyways, if you're in the server, you'll see it as an emote and a sticker now. So Rawworm's making really great art for not very much money. Like I was like, this isn't a sketch. This is like a full, like I do sketches. I do little crappy like pen on paper, no shading, no color sketches. Rawworm's doing like full on colorful art stuff for 15 pounds. So check out that that fundraiser. They're using Ko-Fi. So if you go to Ko-Fi and look for Jazz Adele Games as Ko-Fi, there's a donate button. You can do one time or monthly. And then next week on Tuesday, we're going to be dyeing my hair purple. This part of my hair purple, and this part of my hair on my beard, we're going to be decorating with non-binary pride roses that I got in the mail. They're tiny. I don't know if we're doing glitter. I think we're not doing glitter, but there is technically a strand of lights that I bought. And so if we can figure out how to get them to stay in my beard, maybe we'll wrap them around my ears or something to have the backs of them hang on. So we'll have purple hair, decorated beard, very silly. And Debbie is coming over to do all of that shenanigans here at the house. My barber is like driving to my house to do this as a mutual aid reward. So that'll be next Tuesday, 11 to 2, which is 2 to 5 Eastern. Yep, 11 to 2 Pacific. The day before that, Swolesome will be on Genderful podcast, the show that Miranda and I co-host. And I think Swolesome is actually kind of a big deal YouTuber. So that's cool. And next Thursday, I believe Momster and I are doing Tarot for Trans, which is really exciting because Momster and I missed doing the trans tarot stream last month. And so we're kind of making up for it. And then the very next day, so the Tarot for Trans with Momster, I get on a plane, go to California, and then Friday, I will be on Adventures Pack channel, which is where we're raiding into. This is a very long story to get to where we're raiding. Hopefully they're still live when I get back to the computer. I'm going to be on Adventures Pack as part of the Gauntlet, and I actually commissioned character artwork. I get to play a level 17 Tabaxi Rogue in the Gauntlet. I'll be reviving Fabin Murder Mittens from all of our home games, which Capybara has encountered many a time. So Fabin Murder Mittens, the Tabaxi Rogue Panther Catboy, will be shredding it up in the Gauntlet, and you'll see when we raid in. It's like a really fancy set. It's like Critical Role light. Like I'm very excited. It's been like a bucket list item of mine for a long time. So, and I think after that week is the Clutter Takeover. So other people will be doing things, and you won't see me for a little bit. But I'm very excited about that, and I can't wait to go read chat. And Cappy, I'll let you talk to chat while I go do the raid command. Here's Capybara on the floor. Maybe. Well, I can't hear Cappy at all. I don't know how I managed that one. But anyways, I'm back. Did you hear anything that I just said? Over there? Koi Mouse. Let me just reading the backlog. Thanks for having us. Thank you for stream. Love this. Yeah, it was fun. Catnip bag. Oh no! Thank you for running the shout out, Cappy. Calico Rat sounds adorable. It is adorable. Maybe I'll put it in a secret alert at some point as like an alternative one. All you imagine is a cat with oven mitts being gay and causing chaos. I mean, that's pretty close. This Fish Rat is really obsessed with cheese. You would love the story about Fish Rat. And also Barak, the god of cheese, and the paladin who is dedicated to Barak, the god of cheese. So much happening. I know. So many fun, exciting things. If you won stuff, don't forget to fill out your claim form. Otherwise, we will forget to give it to you. Okay, we're running the raid. Here we go. Here's raid commands you can copy. The first one will work for folks with subs to the channel. The second will work for everybody. And they are still live. Hooray. They're being cutie patooties and doing D&D things. So the person playing Duwathi is Emmy the Odd, and that is who's DMing the game next Friday that I'll be in. So Emmy will be in the top left spot, and I'll be one of the 5 people off to the side. So exciting! So yes, I can't wait for you all to see the stream that we're raiding into, and where I will be in 2 Fridays. I'm like so pumped. Anyway. Very exciting. Thank you, Cappy. I don't know why we can't hear you, honey. It's very confusing. Did you hang up in Discord? Maybe that's it. No, you're still there. We can read your lips. I think your mic is probably disconnected from the computer. But I don't know when that happened. Hopefully. Did you all hear me announce all the things? I hope so. Check my socials. Yes. Okay, good. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy the ending soon screen. Okay, bye, Cappy. Bye. Love you. Thanks.